on the screen so that we follow the agenda. One of my very much respected CEOs said, if you have any meeting without an agenda, it's always a meeting in futility. He always believes in agenda, and I took that from him in my former place of assignment. Okay, so we have the agenda displayed, so please confirm you can see it. If it's clear, I know you can hear me. I just converse to it.
Yes, we can see it
right now. Okay, fantastic. All right, so we'll be expecting Madam Esther to join the call now, so we can start. Let me reach out to her, just a minute. So I welcome everyone to the call. It's nice to have us on this brief session we'll be having. The agenda, will try to follow it strictly because I know we are busy. A lot of people are reading, and if you're not reading, maybe you have some other engagements over the weekend. So we'll try to see how much we could cover for the time we have. We shouldn't go past more than 2 hours, but then we'll try to see how snappy and very brief we could go for the session we have. So please feel free to ask your questions when it gets to the question and answer session, especially as you can see on the screen, item number 4, the strategy section. No, okay, item number 5, I beg your pardon. Interactive Q&A session would last for about 50 minutes, so we'll have time to ask our questions, ask whatever it is you need clarity. We'll have time to ask her and that question. So please feel free. There's no, like I used to say, there are no stupid questions and there are no brilliant questions. All you need is clarity. So please feel free to ask without any fear of reprimand. All right, so having said that, I've reached out to her on WhatsApp. So let me see. Maybe she's struggling with her network to join. She should join us in a jiffy. So I'm in the office. That is why you can see my video on. I normally have lectures in the evening, so if I go home, the lighting is not always clear, so you hardly see my face. It's always faceless during lectures because I'm at home. All right, so we have Madam Esther on the call, and I can see she just joined now. So we'll kick off immediately, and we'll start without taking much time. So on our agenda, we have the opening remarks, and I'll take that before the next item on the agenda. All right, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this special Q&A session for the ICAN, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, Advanced Audit and Assurance and Forensics paper. We'll be featuring our distinguished guest, a very good friend of mine, the person of Esther Akintujoye, ACA. Today's session is not just another professional discussion. It's a learning accountant with experience, an opportunity to hear firsthand from someone who has successfully walked the path we're about to take in just a few weeks. With the November 2025 ICAN exams around the corner, this conversation couldn't have come at a better time. Many of you are deep in revision, juggling study texts, pilot questions, and past papers, wondering what exactly to expect in the exam hall. Well, today, Madam Esther will be helping us connect the dots, turning knowledge into confidence and strategy into results. So this session is designed to be interactive, practical, and encouraging. So as we proceed, I encourage everyone to listen attentively, take notes of key insights, and also feel free to ask your questions when the floor opens. There's no better time to clear your doubts. The goal is simple: to help you understand how to plan your answers, think like an examiner, and approach the AAA-F paper with ease and speed. And by the end of this discussion, I believe you will not only feel more confident about the exam, but you also have a clearer sense of direction on how to maximize these final days before the November diet. All right, once again, thank you all for joining in, and especially appreciate my guest, Madam Esther Akintujoye, ACA, for taking time out of her schedule to share her wisdom and experience with us today. So sit back, stay engaged, and let's make this a fruitful and impactful session together. Once again, you're welcome. So let's get started. All right. So that's my brief welcome address. And the next item on the agenda is the introduction of the discussant. All right. So I'll be taking the introduction of our discussant, and I'll be very brief about that. She has this professional background as I've followed her on LinkedIn. Madam Esther Akintujoye is an associate chartered accountant and a rising professional currently serving as experienced tax associate at Deloitte, Nigeria. With a robust background in accounting, finance, and taxation, she has demonstrated remarkable resilience, intellect, and commitment to professional excellence. Before joining Deloitte, she worked as an executive trainee at Guarantee Trust Bank, Abuja, where she gained hands-on experience on account management, financial operations, and marketing strategy. Her career journey reflects a blend of strong analytical skills, discipline, and an unrelenting drive for growth. She holds a bachelor's degree in accounting from Adekunle Ajasin University, graduated with a second-class upper division, and an upper credit in accounting from Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Ondo State. She has also undertaken specialized professional development courses through the Corporate Financial or Finance Institute, CFI, with certifications in accounting and finance. So that's a brief on her professional background. Her ICAN story is short. She's going to tell us, but then part of what connected me to her was her ICAN story she posted on LinkedIn, and I started following her from then and connected with her. We became friends. Her journey during the ICAN exams is one of grit, grace, and determination, if you read that story on LinkedIn. While working full-time at GTBank with no study leave or flexibility, she prepared for her ICAN professional exams, balancing a demanding job with an even tougher study schedule. Specifically, in November 2023, she sat for corporate reporting, advanced audit and taxation, advanced audit and assurance, and case study paper, and achieved an extraordinary score of 97. That's unusual in the AAA paper, one of the highest recorded performances. She later completed her remaining 2 papers in May 2024, and that officially earned her the ACA qualification. Her story, pardon me, that was a bit of a glitch in network. Please confirm you can hear and see my screen, please. Pardon me.
Yes, you can hear.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for that confirmation. So I said her story of late night study, pardon me, one of those hiccups, challenges we have with virtual platforms, network glitches and all that. Pardon me. All right, so I was speaking to her Her story of late night study sessions, personal sacrifices, and unwavering faith continues to inspire countless ICAN students across Nigeria and beyond, including myself. And she often says her success was built on discipline, consistency, faith, and the power of a strong support system. So, in rounding off that story on ICAN, on her post on LinkedIn, she said, one of the core messages she has for ICAN candidate is that you will pass, not because it's easy, but because you are resilient, focused, and built for this. And she often humorously says, eat well, rest when you must, and never give up. Your hard work will pay off. So that's a quote from her LinkedIn page. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'll welcome to the floor Madam Esther Akintujoye, ACA. So, Madam Esther, the floor is yours, please. Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Please confirm that you can hear and you can see me.
Sure, I can hear and see. Thank you.
Okay. Wow. You know, I was telling you yesterday that sometimes when you say all those things, I get to ask myself if truly I'm the person they are speaking about. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad to, be sharing my story with each and every one of us. And I checked to see that we have around, I think about 15 amazing people on this call. Thank you so much for joining. Feels like I'm dreaming. Maybe you pinch me. I've never had to, share my story physically. Yes, I've had one-on-one sections with people that reached out to me on LinkedIn, but having it on a call, I've never had to do that. I've just always hid behind, my writing on LinkedIn. So I'll just get into it. First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Josiah. I really, really appreciate and honor you. Thank you to everybody that joined this call. I honestly and truly, truly, truly appreciate you. So today, I'm not going to speak theory. I'm going to speak exactly from my personal story. So when people reach out to me, I always tell them I can relate. And I think it's one of the things that God would teach me in my journey, that He will make me go through certain things, because when somebody go through that particular thing, I can say words like, I can relate. So you see, everything you feel right now, everything you feel you've not covered it, you feel you open one question and it feels like you have not read at all. I can relate 101%. I can relate. Trust me. If you can put on your camera, it's fine. I can relate. I honestly can relate. Is it annoying? Yes. Did I cry? Yes. I'm a very emotional person. So there were days when I would soak my pillow with tears. Because why? Because I tried to solve one question. I looked at it and I didn't know it. I would cancel everything else I know and feel like I don't know it at all. So I can honestly relate. But one thing that paid off is consistency. You have to be consistent. You can't help but not be consistent. What I usually tell myself is, I've come too far to stop. You are already in the professional stage. Maybe there are some skilled students here, but you've come too far. So I started ICAN in school as a student. I was in 300 level. My friend then was writing. I had no idea about ICAN. I was just a student, an accounting student that just really had great dreams, but I did not know about ICAN. So while talking one day, I saw them preparing for exam. What are you preparing for? They said they're preparing for ICAN. What's ICAN? And then they pulled me through it, and I was like, okay. I spoke to my dad, and my dad said, you're sure it's going to, help you in your dream. So And I was like, oh yeah, they said it's going to help me in my dreams, like of becoming an accountant. And he said, fine, no problem, I'll sponsor you. So I said, fine. All I just knew I had to do then was to start reading. So I started from ATS3. With the fear and everything, I started, my friends helped out, of course. Lekon really helped out. I'll be calling names, at least to give them their flowers. Lekon really helped out. I wrote it, 4 papers, and I passed. I was like, okay, looks like I can do this thing. Fast forward to 400 level, I wrote skills. I wrote 4 papers in skills, and I failed performance management. And I failed knowing fully well that even if I pass this exam, like after the exam, I said, even if I pass this exam, it's a miracle, because I know that fear. So those are part of the things I'm going to be talking about. Fear was the major reason that made me fail performance management. Fear. I'll see the questions and I will fidget. Even while we were doing revision, while we were preparing, I will see the questions and I will fidget. I will be anxious. I will feel, what are they asking us to do? I don't even know what exactly they want us to do in this place, and all of that. So fear made me run away from the course. So I would give my time to every other course but performance management. I would just come. Sometimes when my friend try, oh, let's try and read it, I'll try and read with them, but I knew that I had fear for it. And then the exam came and I failed it. When I failed it, that was the first paper, that was the first exam ever I would fail in my life. I told myself that I wasn't going to do ICAN again. It took a whole community to beg me. I had a mentor then, Chiamaka, I forgot his name. He would call me and he told me to buy a book. And that's what I want some of us to do today. You're going to write 5 reasons why you want to become a chartered accountant. Just 5. Just 5 reasons why you want to become a chartered accountant. Days when you feel tired, days when you feel you want to give up, you will go back there and read it. This was what helped me to pass performance management. Even though I had zeroed my mind, I had 51. It was a close shave. I had 51 in that course when I finally passed it. So you write 5 reasons why you want to become a chartered accountant. It will help you. So after I wrote that and I got 51, it just changed my mentality. And then they now also started telling me that SFM was the father of PM. I said, okay, the one I was scared of, people came, is now the father again, no problem. So I came reading for SFM with all of my strength. And that's why I broke it down and said, okay, I'll write 3 first. Let me go and test the waters and see. And then I'll come back to write the remaining 2. And performance management was the only paper I failed. So some of you on this call might be feeling, oh, you cannot relate because you've not failed the paper before. I have failed the paper before. And it took, oh my God, it was a whole lot. I did write the diet after. It was the other diet I had to write because I was like, I'm not going to write it. So that's I think that's all about my ICAN journey. So I'll speak directly to Advanced Audit and Assurance. I wrote that diet with 2 other papers, corporate reporting and also case study. So I was strategic in picking whatever paper I wanted to write. So this is how I picked it. I looked at the timetable. After I wrote skills, I told myself I wasn't going to write 5. Like I knew from the beginning I wasn't going to write 5. If I had written 5, would I have passed? Oh, yes. I knew I could, but I just didn't want to stretch myself that much. So I think one strength I have is that I truly understand myself, at least to some extent. So you have to understand yourself. I usually tell my school daughter that in that exam hall, it's going to be God, you, and the paper. Except if you're going to any, yes, that's the truth. Samuel, you're smiling. It's the truth, really. It's going to be God, you, and the paper. Except if you are going to the exam hall knowing fully well that you want to be asking questions, which I've never had to do. So I've never got into any exam knowing fully what I'm going to ask questions from anybody. So it's just you, God, and the paper. And you now know that you have to at least be very prepared, maybe like 80%, right? So that's it. So I told myself I wasn't going to write 5 papers. I was going to write 3 first. So I like going with the, let me start with the very strong one. So I wrote 3 first. I was like, there are 5 papers. If I write 3, if my enemy fails 1, I can still go back and write 3 again the next diet. But it will be hard if I write 2 now and then I maybe fail 1 and I now have to still come back for 3. It's not going to make any sense. So I joined GTBank in June 2023. Yes, June 2023. And I think I told myself that since I did not write May Diet 2023, I was going to give myself a gift of coming out best in the training school. So I did that in GTBank. I came out best in training school. So it gave me some form of ginger. And then I headed on, to write November Diet. So prior to then, I had started reading the pack. So another thing is, I think I also understood ICAN to a point. So advanced audit and assurance, you can't rely on any other textbook. It has to be their own textbook, the textbook they provided. So I knew I had to read it. And it's bulky. Let's not lie. Advanced audit and assurance is a lot, right? So can you confirm that you can hear me?
Sure. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
That's great. This is when when I'm saying too many stories, please call me back.
So, no, it's fine. It's fine. Please go ahead. It's fine. Go ahead.
So I knew that I had to write. I had to read the pack. And speaking about understanding yourself, I knew that. So I have a picture memory. If I see something today, I can see it exactly the same way I saw it today, like tomorrow. I have a picture memory. So what I do is, for me to remember things, I have to write them back in my words. So what did I do? I wrote the pack again in my words. That note till today, I don't know who has it, but after I scored 97, somebody miraculously took it. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think you glitched a bit. Network glitches. Yeah, we can hear you. I can hear
you. Yes, please, can you hear me? Sorry, a call keeps coming on my phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, a call keeps coming on.
No problem.
Sorry, I have to call her.
No problem.
Stop calling.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead. And you can put on you can put on your video, please. No issues. Anybody that wants us to see, you want to put on your video, please feel free to put on your video. It's fine, except if you are conscious of your bandwidth. But it's fine. You can go on your video call. It's okay. So let's give her some minutes to attend to that urgent need. So I also put up the November diet she wrote. She discussed that on the platform, and she may want to share 1 or 2 insights into the paper. So I put that up too alongside the agenda, so that if she wants to speak to how she attempted any of the papers, she should be free to do that. I think she said something around that during the voice note, or in the voice note she shared. So I put up the November paper she wrote of the AAA. All right, welcome back. It's nice to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
You keep calling me.
No problem.
Yes. So understanding yourself is very important to life, even life in general, and even to this exam. So I had to write back the pack. So I will read. So the first thing I do when I pick up a pack is I read the content page and then I plan. How am I going to be able to read? How many chapters per day? How many? So I do a rough timetable for myself. Yes, I might not follow it 100%, but it gives me like an idea of how I'm going to read, how I'm going to prepare. So I do that. So I did that, and then I wrote back the pack in my own understanding. Let's say, for example, I read planning. As I'm reading, I'm jotting it back in my own understanding. And I think I also understood that this exam is a practical one. So you have to put yourself in the shoes of an auditor. And this is what will help you in your exams. When you're writing, I said it on the voice note, and I also told my students, you are a professional auditor. I know these diets, you're going to be getting a lot of case studies. So they are going to be telling you that, oh, this is what, you cannot see anything like what is planning. Mention 5 ways to plan. You can't see that. You have to read through the case study or read through the question and then ask yourself, what are they asking me to do as a professional auditor? Yes, ICAN is beginning to move towards what ACA does, and that's making sure that their questions are practical based, because they wanted that when you come out of the exam hall, when they announce you as a member, you are able to, stand out, you're able to represent them properly. So it is practical based. So you have to read your papers, read your questions, and answer back in practical terms. And please, there are key terms in audit. There are key words in audit that you cannot avoid to put in your answers. Number one, it shows the examiner that you have read. 2, it shows the examiner that you know what you are saying. So please, there are keywords in audit. There are keywords in audit. When you are answering your questions, please infuse those keywords in it. Please. If you can use maybe like 2 hours, I don't know how many papers you are writing. I understand it can be a lot. If you can use 2 hours to go and check for keywords, please, it will help you. As you're answering your questions, please, I'm begging, I can kneel down. Infuse keywords into it. All those professional skepticism, all those the 5 ethnic, blah blah blah, all those things, please add it to your answers. And then, thank you, Holy Spirit. The last thing, another thing I want to add to that is there are ethics that guides auditors. Please infuse it in your answers. It helped me. That's what helped me. Infuse it in your answers. Speak like a professional auditor. Imagine that I call you to come and audit my company, and then you are saying, so that's it. Don't worry, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to get back to you. No, but if I hear you, no, let's not even lie. Now let's do an analogy. Samuel, I tell you to come and audit my company, and then I hear you say words like all those audit terms, even though you don't know it, I'll feel you know it, because you are using those words, because you are bringing me into the environment. Imagine an engineer not knowing the key terms that applies to his industry. That's the same thing as an auditor not knowing key terms that applies to his industry. So please, those keywords, those ethics, infuse them, because they also want to build ethics in you. The professional judgment, you're not under any self-review threat and all of those things. They also want to see it in you. So please add it to your answers. So how do I answer a question when I get to the exam hall? When I'm seated, in the exam hall and they give me my question, I turn it upside down. I turn it to the back and then I keep it. So once I turn it into the back, And when I hear start, I don't read number one question. I don't try it. Yes. Looks like Zoli Samuel's video that is on. So Zoli Samuel, I'm going to be calling. He's laughing. Yes, I don't try it. I don't do it. I don't do it. So once I open my question from the back, the first question you see when you open the back is number 7. So I'll read number 7. Do I know it? So because my memory wants to answer everything at that point, I will start pinning some things down so I don't forget. I'll pin something down inside my own exam booklets, because so they don't say you are cheating or something. So I pin some things down. Then I'll read up to section B. That's question 2. And then I'll mark the 4 that I want to answer. I will not open number 1 question. I don't do it. Why? Because 50 is the pass mark at B. So I will try and gather my 50 in section C and section B. Yes, every other paper I wrote, I had way above 50. I think I had 70 something in SFM and 60 something in tax. But I will pick my 50 from section C and section B. I would answer it judiciously. I would answer it well, very well, give it my time. When I hear 1 hour to go, I would open up number 1 and look at what they asked us to do there. So please, let's see my diet.
All right. Thank you very much. So let me put up the diet. Okay, so this is November 2023. Do I start from question 7?
Let's see. Okay, let me speak into question 1. So
right.
you know, I opened it. So I didn't see it. I did not know what they asked us to do. I did not know anything. Then I opened it and I saw this question. First of all, the first thing that threw me off balance was I saw statement of financial position. In my mind, I was like, did they do mistake and give me CR? I wrote CR on the other day. Why are they giving me CR question again? I didn't know what to do. I got destabilized. Thank God that I had comfortably answered 4 questions. Now imagine that this was the first thing I came to open. It would have just truncated everything and I probably would have failed that diet. So when I saw this question, I said, okay, no problem. Let's also know that all these ISA, ISRE, I didn't read it. I did not store it on my head. The only idea I had was the IFRSs and the IASs. That's only what I had on my head. Like I saw that Mr. Gabriel gave us like a breakdown of all the IASs and all the IFRS, all the ISs for audit. So when I saw the question, I was like, okay. Then I remembered what my tutor told me in school then. ICAN said, attempt 5 questions. They did not say answer correctly or 5 questions. They said attempt it. Yes, thank you. That's at the top. You are required to attempt 5 out of 7 in this paper. So if I was an examiner and I picked up a answer booklet and I saw that somebody did not adhere to that instruction, I'll get pissed. And that was the analogy my tutor gave us then. Attempt it. Even though you don't know everything, they said on a fresh booklet, starts a new answer, right? I write it on top. Question 1. And at least write what I know. I know I had read it. So there was no way that I would leave that part blank. So I wrote, brothers and sisters, I wrote what I thought I understood. Detail out the procedures required to be carried out in the review of interim financial information. I knew some little things. I wrote. I also used ideas. I was working then. So I wasn't doing audits, but maybe because whenever I'm reading, I try to always relate it into a practical term. I was able to write. I wrote, in view of the changes in inventory in financial statements given above, between the last two periods, provide the substantive procedures that will be carried out. I sure knew what substantive procedure was. And then evidence and all of those things. I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. So my advice is, please attempt all 5. You can decide to use my method of not opening number 1 question first, of giving yourself to the 4 questions. And if you are very comfortable in yourself, open number 1 question and start. But please don't spend too much time on any question. Write what you can, give in what you can, and then move on. So two other points that are on my head that helped me is community and support systems. So at this time, I think we have like 17 days. Am I correct?
Yeah, like 17, 16 days, something like that.
You need all the support that you can get. If you're like me that did not get any study leave when I was writing, you have to burn the night candle. So I'm a night owl. I'm always awake in the middle of the night. I took coffee a lot during this period because I'm always awake from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. and then I still go to work. But it's just 2 weeks max. You are done, and you can now take all the rest. You know that your body deserves, but you have to push your body beyond limit. You still try and rest too, so you don't now go to the exam hall and you cannot remember anything. Eat well. I love good food, so I used to compensate myself with food. I'll tell myself that, Esther, if you finish this thing in this also time, I'll buy you your best jollof rice from Yellow Plate. I stayed in Abuja, so I'll do that. And when I do it, I'll buy myself a plate of jollof rice and I'll eat and say, oh, that's a job well done, we go again. So please, you have to push yourself, especially for, I think somebody called me yesterday and said she had not been reading. I don't know if she's going to be on this call, but I told her I was going to address it. So if you've not been reading, I honestly don't know. I don't know if you've paid for the exam, but if you've not paid for the exam, is it possible that you write it next diet? But if you have paid for the exam, you have 2 weeks. Can you do 2 weeks intensive? 2 weeks intensive, like very, very intense. Bearing in mind that what you should have covered in 3 months is what you want to cover in 2 weeks. So if you can do a very intensive study, past questions are your friend. Past questions helped me a lot. Number 1, it sets your mind to understand what you might face in the exam. And then while you're reading past questions, please, Mr. Gabriel, can you show us an examiner comment for, let's say, examiner comments for this number 1. So that's what I do when I was preparing. Yes, and the marking guide. Let's start from the marking guide.
Okay.
Let's start from the marking guide. So let's go through it, guys. Let's see how, these are things that helped me. Let's see how I can award their marks, right? Let's start from the marking guide. Yes. So the marking guide, introduction and meaning of ISRE 2410, listing of the futures. They'll give you half mark each. If you mention at least 4 futures, that's 2 marks. Introduction and naming. Can we see? Introduction and naming of this. They will give you how many marks? 1 mark each. So can you now see how they want you to answer? when you want to start, you will write the name of this thing, the standard in full, right? You will write the name of the futures. Like, you will have to write their name. It awards you mark. Yes, it awards you mark. The name of those futures. For example, you write the name of those futures, write it out. I said you are a professional auditor. Auditors cannot do their work haphazardly. In fact, as a professional accountant, you cannot do your work haphazardly. Right? I was telling my student that imagine that you're an auditor, you went to audit one company, then you now gave you gave an unqualified opinion that, oh, they are good to go and they are fine, and people had gone to invest in that company, and then you now came back at the middle of the year and say, sorry, make una no vex. That time I did not have enough this thing, but this company is actually not a good company. People are dependent on your opinion, right? So as an auditor, you have to, as you're writing it there, if you also have a very good handwriting, it's also going to help you. Maybe because maybe that's what also helped me. I think I also have a good handwriting. Let me pride in that a little. I think I also have like a good handwriting. Somebody does not have a good handwriting. Hey, you go and buy 2A. Hey, you buy 2A and learn how to write. You have to be detailed. If they are asking you, what is a noun? Number one, start. Definition of a noun. You write, what is a noun? A noun is the name of a person, animal, place, or thing under it. When your examiners see that, they don't have to start scrambling around to look for your answers. They don't have to do so much. It gladdens their hearts and they award you mark. So let's go down. So just doing that. They said just listing the futures. So you see, they've not told us that you have to even explain it. But just listing it already had awarded you like 4 marks already. Now, they said the procedures in the review of interim financial information, 1 mark each, subject to a maximum of 6 points. Then that substantive audit procedures. Okay, I can't see that anymore. Yes, so 1 mark each to a maximum of 6 points. Outline of reporting requirements of compilation engagement, 1 mark each, subject to a maximum of 10 points. So you have to be detailed in the way that you write. So let's see the examiner's comment. Let's see what he said or what she said. Yes. Now, he said that, so I'll just jump to the part where he says the common pitfall of the candidate was lack of understanding of the component of review engagement as distinct from conventional audit. Candidates are advised to familiarize themselves with the practical aspect of engagement and also read the Institute study text and pathfinders, which are available on the Institute website. So you see that the person made mention of these are like things that people failed to do. I know that I checked some, and he had said that some people were not able to outline their work properly. So you have to be able to outline your work properly. Please be neat. When you're answering number 1, let's know that this is where we're going to find everything that pertains to number 1. When you're answering number 2, let's know that this is everywhere. This is where we're going to find everything that pertains to number 2, number 3, and so like that. Please read the beginning part of, like now, before you get into the exam, the beginning part of the pack. Please read it. Like let's even read it now. That's instruction that we don't usually read. When they tell us, ICAN is 3 hours 15 minutes. That 15 minutes, they expect us to use it to read all these things, but we don't use to read it. We are just always jumping to go and write the exam. Please, let's read this beginning part of the question paper. You can read it now before you get into the exam, or maybe you will not have the time to want to start reading it, understand the tension and all of that. But please, read it and familiarize yourself with pathfinders. Like now, I don't think there should be anybody that is still reading the pack. just my honest view, I don't think there should be anybody who is still reading the pack. Like you are still reading the pack to jot points. I think at this time, yes, somebody sent a reaction of surprised. Yes, please. I think at this point, what you should be doing is soaking yourself in past questions, then putting yourself in exam condition. If they ask me this, what will I say? If they ask me this, how will I answer? Those are things you should be doing now for all your courses. That's what you should be doing now. Soak yourself in past questions. Then the only thing that will take you back to your pack is maybe you did not understand how they said you should do this one, how they said you should do this one. And please discuss it. Audit is a discussion course. Discuss it, discuss it, discuss it, discuss it. I and Chineye then after work in the evening, I'll go directly to Chineye's house. I'll usually go home by 10 because of course I was preparing for 3 papers. So when I get to our house and we probably eat dinner, the next thing we are doing is Esther, question year 2024 pack this, question this. If they ask you in the exam, how are you going to be able to answer it? So I'll open it and look at it and say, okay, this is what I would have said. And then she would also bring her points too. I'll be like, oh yes, that's true. We could also answer it that way. And then we'll go and read the answer. But please don't look at the question and then run to go and read the answer. You're not going to be helping yourself. You're not going to be helping yourself at all. But reading the pack, okay, what did they ask me to do? This is what they asked me to do. Please say your own first. You that have been reading for 3 months, you are not playing. Say your own first, then check what the examiner said. Then you will now add it to your points. So please, let's focus more on our past questions. And your community, please, don't leave them more. Don't leave them. Yes, I know that for me, at a week or 2 weeks to the exam, I'll go and do my solo reading. I don't used to read with people anymore. Because, like I said, if the exam was going to be God, me, and my paper. So 2 weeks to the exam, you will not see me again. I will just go and be reading solo on my own and be answering by myself. Yes, because if I'm reading with other people, you'll be saying, no, Esther, what do you think? Say your own points. I want to go and be able to say my own points to myself and know how I'm going to be able to, face it. I think I'm supposed to be done by 2, but I'll give you extra time so we can ask questions. So I think I've been able to say plenty stories. I hope I've brought back plenty memories. By the way, I'm 1 year in Deloitte today, so it's a very happy day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's a very happy day for me. I left my comfort zone on the 30th of October last year to come to this Lagos that I've dreaded all my life. And it's a year today, so it's a happy day. So you can ask me plenty questions, I'll answer you.
Wow, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. We really appreciate you. Thank you for opening your heart. Thank you for sharing a lot of ideas, strategies. Really appreciate it. You could see my pen too. I was taking 1 or 2 notes on what you were saying because ICAN is just the beginning of exams for us in this space. So exams are coming. I needed some of those points. So we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for those nuggets. They were enriching and very enlightening. All right, so we'll go into the interactive section right now. And we're going to be opening the floor to every one of us to ask our questions, seek guidance, and clarify doubts where necessary. So we'll be going this order, please. So we're doing it like this. Once you raise your hand, I'll take down your identity so that we can have the order of those that will be coming up with the questions and the clarifications or concerns for her. So we're going to start now. So just raise your hand and I'll take down your identity so that we can follow that order based on our hands up. So we'll start now. Who is going first? Okay, so if we can't raise our hands, then maybe you just unmute your mic and speak so that we don't take much time. If maybe you're finding it, okay. So I have my namesake first, all right. So I think that they have my namesake first. All right, second, okay, I have TA second. Okay, all right, I have TA second. Who is the third person? Okay, I have PI third. I'll be using your initials, so it's fine. So I have TI first, third. All right. Any other person? Okay, I have Sammy, number 4. Then I have UK, number 5. All right. So my namesake first, TA second, PI, Sam, UK. Okay, you can put your hands down if you've raised it. Any other person so that I can see any other hands. You can put on your hands if you've raised it. Any other person? Okay, so as we go on, if you still have questions that have been asked or that have instigated some thoughts, just let us know. So we'll go with my namesake now. Gio, please unmute your mic and speak. Thank you very much. Sorry, you're not unmuted. You're still muted. You can unmute and speak, please, Gabriel. You can unmute and speak. Okay, maybe he's struggling with network. Sometimes you may find it hard trying to press the button. It happens to me sometimes in meetings and all that. Okay, so we'll go for him next time. Let's go for TA. I think TA is he still on the call? I can't see anybody. TA, that's the second person. TA, are you there? Oh yeah, good afternoon. Nice to have you. Okay. All right. Okay. Please go ahead.
Straight to the business of the day. Now, from what I picked from Esther is this. They say we should use keyword in answer. I want Esther to break it down. What do you mean by keyword? Because from my own angle, if you say keyword, what I understand is if I have to define, qualify audit now, do I need to make reference to ISA 701 when I'm defining it? Then you also said that naming. Is that what you mean by naming when you say we should infuse keyword by making reference to those ISAs when you are expressing your view towards your answer? Then on the aspect of introduction, I need to explain it in details, the features. Then I'll now relate it back to the scenario of that question. Is that what you mean? That's my first question. And my second question is this. Right from my professional level, I've always started from, for at least the way you structure it, I always start from number 7. Then number 1 will always be my last question that we attempt, which means I'm okay with that. But in a situation by when they give you the question paper and you see that this number 1 is very cheap, let me take it. And you go for it. Because that's what happened to me, May this year. That modified audit opinion. I understand it. At the end of the day, I answered the whole 5 and I still failed. So, what are you going to say concerning that? And my last question is this. On the time management, now, can you give me average time you can spend on a question? Because when it comes to answering questions, you need to write meaningful words so that you can have rest assurance that at least I've done my part. Those are my 3 questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that question, TA. So there are 3 questions. He was asking the first one on how do you answer? What do you mean by answering, and talking about the name? How do you answer contextually? Number 2, he said, which easier questions to answer first, like starting from number 7. Then he said, if the question is cheap, number 1, should he go for the question? And the third question is about time management. He said he needed to understand how much to write and what time to take. So that's what I caught from his 3 questions.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Tunde, I'm very sorry about last diet. I know it can be very painful when you feel that you have, done so much and then ICAN still decides to be ICAN. But please permit me to be very, very, very blunt. My tutor will always tell me that no matter how good you are, number 1 question, there's something about it. It's 30 marks. So you want to invest so much in it. And it will take your time. So you can't start with it. It's 30 marks. You want to give it your all because to get 30 marks is not cheap. So why don't you go to where you can, scrape your 7 marks, scrape your 14 marks, scrape 20 marks, and pile it up. So no matter how you think number 1, it will stretch you. So my advice to anybody writing ICAN, please don't start from number 1. Go and scrape your points from other places and, come back and build your number 1. Yes, I know you might have seen it, but what if that's not what? Have you tried to, after the exam came out, did you go back to check what the examiner was saying that they needed people to write and what you wrote? You will see that
Yes, I and I noticed that.
So what did you notice?
I noticed that my presentation is not enough. Then 2, the way I understand audit now is different from last diet. I noticed that also.
Exactly.
Last diet, let me give you a scenario. Now, if you see anything in audit, I can tell you the chapter where that word is coming from. I've grown myself to that level that if you said, if you see anything under audit and insurance, I can say that thing is coming from chapter 1. But May diet this year, I can't tell you that. I think I'm a little deeper now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being very, very honest. And I like the fact that you went back to check. Some people will not check, they'll just be shouting, I did not pass, I did not pass, I did not pass. Okay, they've brought out the answers. Have you gone back to check that this is your diet though? This is what they required of you. This is what you did. You are not the examiner now. It's the examiner that will say this is what he wants. So thank you for going back to check. And you will see that it has also helped you and improved the way you come back to study for it. So please, if you're going to take anything from this section, please don't try number 1. Leave it. First, go and look for your 7 marks. Go and look for your 14 marks. Go and look for this. Go and look for that. At least. And you also said something about presentation. And I think I mentioned it. Your presentation matters. Oh, in ICAN, you have to be detailed about it. You see that thing that they used to say, number 1 question, every question, answer on a fresh page. They were not joking. No. These are the small pitfalls. I tell you honestly, these are some of the pitfalls that we don't even see. We just say we want to pay for ICAN, and the next thing we are going for class, we are going for this, we are going for that. we don't look at the salient point. What do they require us to do? How do they require us to answer questions? Like now, I just showed you what they needed in that number one. Imagine just listing 4 futures and you've gotten close to 8 marks. Imagine heading, just heading, will fetch you a mark. If you had 49, anybody that had 49 in ICAN before will understand the importance of 1 mark. If you've had 49 ICAN, I've not had it before, but I had somebody close that had it before. He cried. He's a male. He cried. 49. He had 49 over 100, just 1 mark. It's painful because you could have just, and the way you come back and read for that exam, do you understand? So please, presentation matters. Your heading, calm down. It's 3 hours. Just zero your mind that this next 3 hours, and before the judge, calm down and write it. And when I mean keywords, yes, if you know those IASs, please put it. It will show the examiner that you read this pack. Me, I did not add IASs, but you see all those words, I infused them in my answers. All those ethics they require of an auditor, I infused them in my answers. Please, it will show the person that, okay, this person knows what he's saying. And like with that, you should have been able to know that you two, you have tried your best. But please, number one question, leave it for people that have it. If you want to go and start number one question, no problem. Bye-bye. But even if I start writing ACA today, even if I write any other exam today, number one question, that's the highest place. That's, imagine 30 marks for just one question. It's a lot. Why don't I go and get 7 marks somewhere and know that in this what anybody, all my friends know me. I'll tell them 7 marks here, remain 43. 14 marks here, remain this. Yes, that's how I used to do it. Yes, I would usually have, a very high mark, but I think that 50 cap I used to give myself used to help me. I know that, okay, when I do this, do you know that answering just section, I don't advise it, but answering just section B and section C sometimes can earn you your 50. It can, if you give it your all. Some people will go and, I'm not saying, some people are giving me thumbs up. I'm not saying attempt 5. In fact, I will, all your names, I'm going to go and ask them in ICAN. If anybody does not attempt that 5, I'm going to come and drag you from your house. Please attempt the 5. But put in effort and energy in a place where you know that you can get it. And Mr. Chidi, I'm sure that this diet, you are crushing it. As again, apart from you saying, where this place is, where this place. Yes, I was also like that. I know if you speak about it, I'll be like, oh, this is chapter something. That shows that you've been able to read it. But like now, soak in past questions. I don't know if you've been doing that, but if you haven't, please soak in past questions. Read the examiner's comments. Read it. What did they say was the pitfall? And again, another thing I used to do then is I do permutation and combination. Yes, it's a new paper now, and you might be thinking, oh, they might not repeat it. I do permutation and combination. I'll check, okay, this so-so diet, this question was, this question came out. Maybe they will bring it in my diet. That combination and combination, I'm not sure. Maybe. And then I also check to see what is happening around the country. I can't use it to ask questions too. What is happening around the country? Oh, FX. I think when I wrote SFM, then FX was fluctuating. They brought SFM in our diet. They brought FX in our diet. So please, I think I've been able. Is there any other question I can answer?
Yeah, you've been able to at least touch his questions. That's TA's questions. Thank you very much. But you need to speak to time management. I think he needed some thoughts on time management.
Time management. You have
Yes.
somebody posted on LinkedIn recently, and I saw it. I found it very good. His name is Shobanire. I think I'll look for that his post. Please, if you can remind me, if you can chat me up and remind me, I'll look for his post. You have 3 hours. So what he did is mark. You have like for 7 marks, you cannot spend 30 minutes answering 7 marks question. Can't do that. So you have to slash it. How many minutes will you use to answer this? You have 3 hours. You have 30 marks. You have, I've forgotten, I think the next one is 20 marks, right? Let's see question 2 and let's see section B requirements.
Yes, it's 20 marks for the B part, then the C part is 15 marks.
Yes. So 15 marks. That 15 marks, you have to answer any
2 also. Yes.
So 15 marks, any 2, right? You know that you can get 30 marks there. That's 30 marks. Slash it by your 3 hours. Me, I do 1 hour for question 1. Then the remaining 2 hours, I split it between section B and section C. Like I told you, once I hear 1 hour to go, I leave everything I'm doing, then I go to start answering my question 1. So in 2 hours, I answer section B and section C. I don't spend too much time in section C because usually section C is usually more like what is. They're not very direct, but really what they're asking is what is. Let's see section C. So you see, it's an open-ended question. So they just probably want to test your in-depth knowledge on what you have. Imagine they're asking about COBIT. Do people know COBIT now? Maybe I did not read it. I know I did not answer this question right because I did not read COBIT. I do not remember what it was. Control objective for information and related technologies. COBIT is one very familiar topic. Almost everybody preparing for audit knows COBIT. So imagine what they're asking you to do here. Identify and explain specific. In fact, see, if you've done section C, it boosts your morale in a kind of way. That's if you've read though. If you do section C, it gives you a kind of morale because see, they said identify and explain the specific components of COBIT. Let's assume that you know it. You mention it. You identify and explain. Some of you will just go straight into explaining. You will lose the marks for that identify. You will lose the marks for that identify. They said identify and explain. So please, the first thing you should first do is identify it. Then now move ahead to explain. Explain how COBIT to be applied in the business process. Yeah, these 4 marks. And again, the marks will determine how deep you will go. If it is 4 marks, I don't expect you to use 30 minutes on it. So I'll look for that post and then I'll share it with us. At least Mr. Tunde will be able to divide these 2 hours judiciously. Then when they are now trying to, tell you to round up, please go back and dot all I's and, cross all your T's.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. All right, so I saw Gabriel's chat, my namesake's chat on the chat box, but then he's back. I would like to give him the privilege to ask his question. Gabriel, can you unmute and speak if you can?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Although I already typed it in the chat, but
yes,
I'm glad that I can do this now. Yeah. So
please go ahead.
So firstly, I would appreciate Mr. Gabriel and yourself for making this possible today. And so I'll just be a bit personal, right? It's my third time writing advanced audit, like SFM, every other courses I just wrote them once, right? So like I'm just like, what is going on? Like, so then I realized that okay, I think they expect more from us, like not just like the reporting aspect, but maybe like adding like professional skepticism, professional judgment, like or like and I also realized that okay, treating the past questions, there are ways we are meant to answer those questions. But I don't want to assume, right? So I'm putting it here. Although you've spoken about it before, but I just need you to be more like specific about like how we are going to answer those questions. Like how are you supposed to structure your answer? Yeah, I've seen that. Okay, in the what's it called? In the past question, they told us okay, stating out the let's just say ISRE, the national standard for what's it called? Engagements.
Review
So
engagements.
yeah, review engagement. Yes, review engagement. So I'm just like under exam tension, right? There's a way you just structure your answer. So I just want us to have like maybe like something at the back of our mind whenever we're answering the questions. Yeah, we are meant to use terminologies, but like I don't know if you can be more specific about like that. And again, do we necessarily have to cram? Because most of my friends that I know that have passed advanced audit, like they really know how to like cram. They know how to like maybe use mnemonics and all that. So like is cramming like one of the factors. That's like the second question. And again, the third one is like, there's sometimes when you see some questions, they are like you can misinterpret them. How I mean, nobody can tell you how not to misinterpret the question. But like I feel like maybe that there's a logic to it, making sure that okay, like now I found out a question. They said the question, what is the audit procedure when the auditor perceives that there is a uh what's it called misstatement. Then there's another question that says, what does the auditor do when he finds out that there's a maybe sorry, I think it's no class. Yeah, no class. They say okay when they find out that they did not follow like principle. Like looking at those questions now, like because I was patient enough to like maybe like go through it, I found out that okay, maybe some of the answers are similar, but they are not. I don't know if you can just like speak about that. And lastly, I just want you to, this is a bit personal, right? I just want you to talk about like how you were able to like move from like banking to the big four. Like, yeah. So that's just basically what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, my namesake, for those questions. So the first one, he was talking about being specific, and his question was, how do you really go to specifics on how to answer and structure your answers? And secondly, he was talking about identifying questions and how not to mix them up, especially the terms. And thirdly, it's a personal question. How long did it take you to transition from banking to the Big Four auditing, the full audit work? So those were his questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Gabriel. So I'll take your first question. How to know specifics, right?
Yes. Specific ways to answer questions and structuring your answers. Yeah.
Okay. Can we see number 7? I'm trying to see which of these ones that we could do. And maybe next diet, Mr. Gabriel, maybe I'll work with you. I'm hoping that I'll have more flexible time. Maybe I'll work with you. Sorry, all of you, because you would have passed AAAF by then. So it's the
Amen.
next we're enjoying it that would
Amen.
enjoy this.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. So it's the next diet that would enjoy and see me teach. Um so in section C, they'll give you more like a story. right? So the overseas technical partners of these people, professional service, came for a review of operations and system of internal control of the firm. A number of audit engagement files regarding financial statement on which the firm had expressed audit opinion. Please, let's know that the last time that I opened this was the last time I wrote the exam. Were selected for review. It was believed that the strategic review would be necessary to determine the approach or to appropriate audit approach for a detailed audit plan in the firm to bring efficiency and enhance good client service delivery. The review exercise also covers. So when you read this, right, you know that what they will probably ask you about is not audit or financial statement per se. This is like a review, right? So you already have that understanding that what they're asking you to do is not, a major audit. So let's see what they now asked and required of us. I say outline the approaches to the main audit strategy your firm is expecting you to adopt. So see, it's quite simple. Now you've read the story. If you want to read it 2 times, please do. You see that what they are asking you to do here is not the main audit. I said outline the approaches to the main audit strategies your firm is expecting to adopt. So you're probably going to be telling them, you see where I said you have to put yourself in the shoes of a professional auditor, because you're now going to be speaking that, oh, you are now the lead engagement partner. What are the approach that you think it will take? So this is beyond what you have read in the pack. This is you applying the knowledge that you have used, that you have gotten from the pack. Explain the factors that will be considered in the selection of audit strategies. Even me, that I've not read it in a while. The last time I opened this was November 2023 when I was writing it in the exam hall in Abuja, ICAN Center. I can say some things here. What are the factors that you will consider in the selection of audit strategies? Audit strategy is planning. That's chapter 7. Have I read chapter 7? Yes. Do I know small thing? In fact, this chapter, this question is from chapter 7. Like Tunde will be able to get now when he gets to the hall. When he sees something like this, we'll say, this is chapter 7. So everything I know in chapter 7, I will write it. Why? Did I read chapter 7? Yes. Did I understand it? Yes. Will I answer this question? Yes. Will I get my 15 marks? Yes. Explain the factors that will be considered in the selection of audit strategy. Now, let's assume that, you cannot use the same strategy to fight every battle. Same as you cannot use the same strategy to attack every audit. Let's assume that in this company now, their internal control is not very, very strong. You must be able to now check if, oh my God, you must be able to get that your CR, IR, blah, blah, blah. If I'm to answer this question, I will add it. I will add it in answering what I need to do for audit strategy. I will first check what is the risk. Of course, every audit has an inherent risk, right? I will check for control risk. For me to know the kind of strategy I'm going to apply, right? I will check, okay, what are their control risks? Their managers, so don't need approval before money goes out. They just sign it and it goes. I have to look for ways to make sure that whatever I'm getting here, I'm able to tackle that risk. This is what they're asking you to do. Mr. Gabriel, except if I'm not correct, but this is what they're asking you to do.
Sure, you are in line. Exactly. That's what they're asking us. Yes.
Exactly what they're asking you to do. You've read chapter 7. Have you read it? Yes, you've read it. But now this is what they're asking you. They said, explain the difference between audit strategy and audit plan. 2 marks. Or we all know that audit strategy and audit plan is not the same thing. Should we know? Strategy is different. Just even look at the English word. Strategy is how. How are you going to be able to do it? You have to have a strategy before you have a plan. Will I write all of this when I'm answering my question? Of course, yes. You have to be robust to show the examiner that sorry for those of us that don't understand you, but it means that I know what I'm doing. Yes. So that's it. Outline the approach to the main audit strategy your firm is expecting to adapt. This question now, some of us will now go and start penning down what is in the textbook. The examiner will just rule it 0. Because that's not what they asked you to do. Now, they asked you that you've read chapter 7. Oh yeah, apply it. Let's look at question 6. I believe that we are getting ways to answer questions now.
Yes.
Let's look at number 6. Let's please note that the last time I opened this was when I was writing the exam. Now, they said discuss suitable control acts. I'm sure I answered that question in the exam. Discuss suitable control activities that will be required in the above scenario. You know that before you answer this now, you will go and read that scenario first. And please, can you do it this way? Please read the requirements before you read the story.
Yeah.
It gives you an understanding on how to attack the story. Yes. But when you read the story alone first before you come to read the requirements, you will not get that much. You have to read the requirements, discuss suitable control activities that will be required in the above scenario, and how you would assess the degree of effectiveness in the internal control system. Identify and explain what the external auditors are expected to do during the course of the audit. This is also a pack. This is also a chapter in audit. Then you will now go back to read this plenty story. Please don't say, this story is too much. I'm tired. I cannot read. Read it. It's 3 hours. Zero your mind that we are here. So please, for that section C, because read all the requirements first before you go and read the story. And when you are answering your question, please tell them some of their stories too in your answers. See, you have to think like a professional auditor. You have to think like in that exam, you are Josiah Gabriel, ACA, professional auditor working for Deloitte Nigeria.
Exactly.
So you cannot force Deloitte's hand. If you see what we go through when I submit a document, when you have submitted a document and then you think, oh, Omo, I don't finish this work. Your manager will return it with 100 comments and tell you have not done anything. And for some of us that are working, it gives us a little bit of edge. Because you know that you cannot come and do the barest minimum. So imagine this thing now. Control activities. Do you know control activities? Yes. Do you know how to mend an internal control system that is not okay? Yes, you know how to do. You've read that in the back. Oh yeah, come and apply it here. Read the requirement, then please read the story. As you are answering, please tell them a bit of their story. Tell them a bit of what you know from the pack. If you know IAS, Bikokotam. It's just like a man of God teaching you, and he did not quote one scripture. You in your mind, you'll be like, you sure you know what you're doing? It's the same thing. So if you know those things, please quote it. Make your answers robust. Let the person read it and say, wow. So you know what you're doing this much. Also, you have to read if we go and read what they said here now, they might tell us that the students do not have a good understanding of this thing. They'll tell you to go and read the pack because they expect after reading the pack, apply it now. And that's why advanced audit and assurance is not what is. Imagine they were asking us what is audit planning, what is filling the gap. In in ATS we have a short answer question. You will come and fill in the gap. Imagine they are telling us to fill in the gap. It would have been sweet now. But this one, they want you to read. After reading, apply it. So I believe that I've been able to answer that.
Thank you very much. Then his last question on transitioning from banking to Deloitte. Yes.
Ooh, how did I transition? So I've been a girl with big dreams. Yes, I have very, very, sometimes my dreams scare me. So when I got banking, I knew that banking wasn't what I wanted. But I believe that at that time, God would require me to do that because he needed me to use it to gather money So there's a lot of money in the banking space. If you're an ET in a bank, you probably be earning around, 400K, right? So during that period, I was able to save a lot. Instructions came. I'm a Christian, sorry. Instructions came, and the instructions were save a lot. And then I did that. So while I was in the bank, I was still well within the age. So I was taking graduate trainee. I know I did not have the experience. So I did not go near any accounting firm or something because I didn't have any background experience. Yes, I had worked as an accountant in a bakery, but it was very granular. And I just knew that I needed something, deeper. So Big Four, in fact, when I was applying, I didn't know Deloitte was a Big Four. Deloitte is the first out of all the Big Fours, but they are very quiet. They don't shout as much. So when I did all the tests while I was still in Abuja. I sat for all the tests. Funny enough, I sat for KPMG. I sat for Deloitte. I sat for this Pedabo. I sat for the exam too. And then Deloitte picked me. Then I was called for interview and all of that. And then I knew that I had to move banking was just like a process. I knew I did not want to do banking from the beginning. But if you're in banking and you also want to move, of course, I would advise that if you're well within the age, you go through the graduate training. I feel graduate training is like the easiest way to enter any big company. So I entered that. I used that to enter into GT. I used that to enter into Deloitte. So I feel that's like the best way to enter. So yes, that's what I did. And then I moved, from Abuja down to Lagos, and we have been doing the work of the Lord, and the Lord has been faithful. So I believe we've been able to.
Thank you very much.
But if you need more tips, please, my DM is open. Even though I might not respond early, but my DM is open.
Thank you very much for that answer. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so we are going to PI now. Paul is the next person. Please, Paul, go ahead, and you have to run. We are running out of time. Please go ahead and speak. You can unmute your mic. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
nice
everybody.
to have you. Nice to have you.
Yes.
Welcome.
Even though some of my questions have already been answered, but I still have some very inquisitive questions. I just want all of us to ponder on. I thank Madam Esther because it's so real. She's so real. All what she said, so many of them resonate with me because they are just so real. And the number one question always destabilize me in most of the exam. Because I used to start from number one, say it carries 30 marks. How can I leave it and go to questions with lesser marks? So, but with what she explained now, this exam, I won't start from number one. I will not even I will follow how she has explained. Then, my question is that now, this AAA F, in this new syllabus, before it was AAA, now they added the prefix F, which F stands for forensic. I have been thinking, don't you think a very key question might come from this forensic? And Mr. Joshua, I think you have not really taught us this forensic, because I've been thinking about it forensic. And if you have taught it, maybe I missed it, I don't know. I want a situation where let's just look at Madam Esther should just look at what kind of scenario question that can come from this forensic. Because I've been looking at it that for them to have the prefix F for forensic, the key question must come from forensic, even though it has been audit before. But to add it to AAA, I think something must come out from there. So that is just my question. And again,
All right.
Okay, please.
Okay,
And
yes. Yeah,
again,
please go ahead.
the audit languages, I want that she talks about, I want you to list it for us so that we can write it down. Those audit languages that are key for us to use. Just list it, then we'll quickly scribble them down. That's my question. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, PI, for those questions. So before we have our able discussant to go, I'll go first. And your questions were about the syllabus. You are very right, very correct. Speaking to the AAA-F former dispensation and the current AAA-F dispensation. So forensic was mentioned, and the chapter that treats that practically is chapter 12, assurance services. So there are a lot of questions in that assurance services past questions. In fact, I've started working on them. So you are apt to say that we need to really focus on that. And I'll be doing that pragmatically, and I'll be sharing in this last week will be entering so that you can have the questions. Of course, lectures, like I said, stops tomorrow. But then you're going to have those questions to practice. If you practice the forensics, there are a deluge of them in that Pathfinder, the 22 diets past Pathfinder from November 2014 down to May 2025. So, and another thing to note is that there was nothing on forensic that was in the pilot question. So it's also worthy to note that there's nothing on forensic in the 7 pilot questions the examiner provided for the transitioning kind of orientation of the kind of questions to expect. So you're apt to say that, yes, forensic could be tested, and I will assure you that you're going to get the past questions, and I may do a podcast on assurance services, because within these last 2 weeks, you're not supposed to be attending lectures. It will not be good for you. So I'll just be doing a podcast recording for the remaining chapter so that you can sit down with them, process the information, and see how to integrate them on exam day. So that's my answer for Mr. Paul before our able discussant to take over. So, Madam Esther, go ahead. He asked 2 questions on the former AAA structure and the current dispensation AAF. You could add some points to what I've said. Then he said audit languages, his second question. He said, can you possibly list some of those languages for them to catch some thoughts about that? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. In fact, the spirit is one, because maybe you mentioned assurance. I just nodded my head because that was exactly what I was going to say. When I got into Deloitte, I noticed that there's a department called audit and assurance. Yes, we just changed some of our storefront, but there's something called audit and assurance. And then the audit guys are not the assurance guys. So I think all the while we've been writing AAA paper, we've just been doing audit. So that was why they had to introduce forensics. So of course, a question is going to come about forensic. And if you don't know before, please know now that they will bring a question on forensics. And what is assurance? Assurance is not, so assurance guys don't do the main audit work. Their own is different. If you read the first pack of that audit pack, if you read the first chapter, they spoke about it, but a little. They didn't do so much. Because I know that when I read it then, I was always like, what a gun is this assurance? So assurance is different from audit. So that's what I feel, that's what they now want to introduce. And that's why they had to introduce forensics, because there's no way that they would say assurance. How would they hammer assurance again? So in assurance, there are other different services that the assurance guys, do. Okay, I think Samuel, please help me note all the promises that I'm making, so I can guess. You are the only person that will see the video, so you are the only name I'm going to call it. Let me note all the promises I'm taking. The first promise, I said I was going to get David's LinkedIn post on how he broke down the time management. Then secondly, I'll speak to my assurance guys and ask them the kind of services Deloitte assurance guys, offer to clients. And then maybe you have an idea of what you might be getting in the exam. Is that fine?
Exactly. Thank you very much. Good thoughts. Yeah. Thank you.
Also,
thank you.
Also, I want to say something, man. For me, what I understand by assurance service from that chapter one is that we have an audit firm. They have a department that need to just pure assurance, review of client information or client transaction, compilation of information. They also, on the aspect of okay, agreed upon procedure that this is what you should do for us. While we also have other departments, they are into re-auditing. That's my own view, my own understanding. Thank you, ma'am.
Exactly. That's very correct. So to get, yeah, somebody was saying something. Okay, I thought that was my network. So to get, yeah, today, very, very correct. So let's also get, real life. What do they exactly do? Because I know that currently I have some engagement that requires my team, which is a business process solution team in Deloitte, and assurance guys to, take up the engagement together. So we work with the client as requested for some things, and it's not within our own jurisdiction. So we ask the assurance guys to take it. So I'll just ask them. So they'll tell me what they used to do exactly. Go, go, go. I also want to use it to learn too. So, and then I'll churn it out back to you. So you might also want to understand. So if you look at forensic is more like high detailed, more like a high level checking apart from just audits. You're checking something like very detailed. So of course, they might give you a case study and tell you to give opinion on it. There are different kind of opinions in audit and assurance. So you might just get a case study and they'll tell you to give an opinion on it. Either a reasonable opinion or, or something like that. So do I have all the keywords on my head? No, I don't, but I'll list a few that I know. So I know there's risk, there's materiality. So you also want to, talk about your materiality threshold. Maybe like for example, now that number 7 question, there's no how you will not infuse a word called materiality threshold because it's in chapter 7, right? So there's also something called there's opinion, there's compliance, there's sampling, your audit samples, your substantive testing, and all of those other ones. Mr. Gabriel, should you help us find, because I can't say I will start reading the pack now to get keywords. But in every pack, maybe for the new guys that will be taken by Next Diet, we'll tell them one assignment. After reading one pack, please, what are all the keywords that you saw in it? So when you see a question that relates to it, you'll be able to, use those keywords to, fight your battles. So yes, I think.
All right. Thank you so much. So I think you asked on keywords for each chapter. So maybe I will leverage artificial intelligence to do that because I may not have time much to do that. So I use a lot of artificial intelligence softwares, ChatGPT, Gemini, so much tools, DeepSeek. So maybe I'll leverage one of them to check keywords that will help us for each chapter, like you said, before the exams, and we'll see how to add value to that.
Yeah, so let me add one other thing too. AIs are your friends, right? Maybe because I did a deep study on AI, so I took a course on AI. So sometimes ask AI some of these your questions and let it tell you the answer, right? So you interact with it. Sometimes it gives you like a deeper understanding on, some other things that you might not be taking into consideration. So AIs are your friend. I use ChatGPT a lot. I did a full course on it. So maybe you want to check, give it the right prompt. AIs work with prompts. If you give it a wrong prompt, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you give it a wrong prompt, it will give you a wrong answer. So you have to give it a very good prompt or something like hi. So I have a name for mine. So hi ChatGPT, you are a professional student preparing for the upcoming November 2025 ICAN examination, you have been asked this question with this so marks. Kindly provide your answers in a very detailed format. This is a prompt. I just spelled out a prompt now. If you put it, it will tell you, oh, okay, I'm writing the exam. This is what I will do. This is what I will say. This is how I will say it. This is how I will say it. Things like that too can help. So if you have the time, I know, please, if you're writing 5 papers, raise up your hand. 5 papers. 5 papers, gang. Let's see your hands. And there are no 5 papers, gang here. There's a name we used to call them in our tutorial center. Nobody's writing 5. Oh, beautiful.
Not as much.
Because those are writing 5, they might not be ESF. They'll feel we have wasted too much time. 4.
4 papers.
3 papers.
3 papers, gang.
Okay. Chaya, are you writing or 4?
Yeah, I'm writing 3.
I think it's 3.
Oh, that's Joshua, 3 or 4?
I think these are 3 papers, gang. 3.
Oh, great. These are the 3 papers, gang. Oh, that's
gang,
good. 2
yes.
papers, gang.
Yeah.
May I have 2 papers? 2
Okay,
papers.
so which one and which one?
2 papers. SFM and not this. 1 day. So that's where the problem is.
And it's on the same
in the morning, the same day.
why?
Yes. I don't know. That's the way God has it for me. And He will see me through.
Pass. Josiah, you have 1 paper. So 1 paper, gang. Raise up your hand, please.
They are much here, especially audit. We are very much here. Audit is skipping a lot of people.
The least score is 90. Let's do 90. Or wait, do we have anybody that wants to even go beyond what I scored? I think
yes, 99, 98.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've seen somebody who had 98.
Really? 98?
Yes, I think I've seen 98.
Wow, incredible.
Yes, I think aside from 98, I think 97. ICAN is even supposed to call me. I don't know why they're doing it.
And they say you didn't write 5 papers.
Yeah, all right. Don't mind them.
Yes. They say you didn't write 5 papers.
I think I was very angry. But
yeah, I saw the highest in that diet scored 85 for AAA.
Exactly. 85 minus 97.
I'm telling you.
So 1 paper, gang, please. You have all the time. Please. In fact, I want to see our scores. Samuel, you are the one. Where did you put on your camera today? You have entered. I want to see.
There's something that's come with just writing 1 paper. Probably when I'm supposed to ask my question, I'll just ask.
Yes, it's time. So go ahead. It's time to ask for your question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Madam Esther,
right.
Thank you so much. And just like was speaking, last diet I wrote all the 5. Maybe I didn't expect it. I just gave it my all. When I was writing last diet, it was more like no stress, no pressure. Try your best. If you pass 2, you write the next 3. If you pass 4, you write the next 1. But writing just audit this diet, there's a way it comes with probably fear self. Writing just 1. Right? It's even more, it's looking like I'm stressing myself than I did for the 5 the other time.
Exactly.
And still, so my question is, how do you deal with this kind of fear? That is 1. That is 1. Just 1 paper, and you don't want to, you told us the other time that if you're reading and it's looking like it's not sticking, just keep reading. Consistency. I think I picked that also. One of your words, Madam Esther, that sticked to my head is picking 50 marks from section B and C. I think that's a very good strategy. I will try as much as possible to key into it. Another question, that will be the second one, is what is the best way to approach difficult or confusing topics? So you read this topic, it's still looking like it's not coming, it's not entering. How do you go about them? And the last one I want to ask, maybe because of my experience in my tutorial center the last time, with ICAN, is there anything like control paper truly? And the reason why I'm asking is I have a couple of friends, in my center then. After last diet exam, we're checking our result. Everybody, what do you have? 21. You unko 21. You unko 6 of us. And we're wondering 21. Kilo shele. So these are my 3 questions. How do you deal with that fear? Best way to approach difficult or confusing questions, and the control paper thing, not within our control. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just go ahead and ask Samuel, my very good friend in this section. So I can relate. I wrote 4 in skills. I failed 1 PM. How did I pass PM? I had 51. Fear almost finished my life. But fear almost finished my, and again, there's this thing that comes with rewriting a paper you had failed. And that's why my heart goes out to everyone that is writing it the second time, the third time. I had somebody reach out to me. She's writing it. She's elderly. She's writing it, I think, the 5th or 6th time. And then she was even just begging me that if there's a way, no, you cannot be calling me now. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please. Yes, we can hear you.
But if there's a way that I could just remove some of my mark and just give it to her so she can just move on with her life. So, but you have to face the fear. That's it. You have to face it. You have to face it. You have to face it. I think that's one thing we do in this our adulthood. We face our fears. So you have to face your fears. Then how do you tackle difficult questions? So as you're asking more questions, I'm also remembering some other things I do. So there's something called pilot questions. So every chapter, I don't know where I got that thing from. Let's say for chapter 7 now, they will go and check where it has been tested across various diets. And then the question where those particular chapters have been tested, I also use that too. I don't know if it's going to be possible to find it. I'll check my laptop, but I'm not sure that I have it, or I would have it again. But if you can get that, it will help you. Let's say, for example, you are struggling with chapter 12 to understand it. Go and check questions there. Go and check questions that have been asked in that, in that place to see how it was asked, and what kind of questions came out of that place, really. So I think that's one way to tackle difficult questions. And another way I feel to tackle difficult questions is discuss it with people. Alpha guy, chapter 12 is looking like something I don't understand. Can we discuss it? We discuss it. Another thing, put the parts you don't understand, put it on ChatGPT, put it on Gemini, put it on Copilot. Ask it to explain to you like you are a kid. Yes, ask it to break it down to you as if you are a baby. To use relatable things on how you can understand it. Ask it to give you maybe like a short brief summary on that particular thing. Read it, digest it, then go back to read that particular chapter. You understand it a bit better. So if you can also get that pilot question, I think some tutorial centers used to do it where they would check each question, each chapters, and go and check for what diets and what questions it was, asked. You can also use that to see what kind of questions came out and how they were able to tackle it. So yes, I didn't get it. I'm not sure. Have I answered?
Yeah, so you've answered 2 questions. The last one is the control paper mystery, the control paper controversy around control papers. Yeah.
Yes, there is control paper in every diet, in every level. There's control paper in every level. PM is for skills, SFM, and maybe audit sometimes for professional. So sometimes they tend to make it, a bit difficult for people to not pass it. Not like not pass it, but you more like have to do, and it varies sometimes. Yes, I've heard of that control paper. SFM is more like always the most difficult paper in every diet. There's always the most difficult paper in every diet, and it applies to like different people. So for me now, if you ask me what was my own control paper in skill stage, I'll say it's PM because I had issues with it. If you ask me in professional, what was my control paper? I cannot call audit because even you two, you shout, audit that you now want to have 97. Why did you have? Then, and if I call SFM, I had 77 in SFM. So you'll be like, how did you not pass it? So really, control paper depends on you, really. So I truly, truly understand. My heart goes out to every one of us that is writing just AAF, AAAF. Please, number one thing I want you to rule out is the fear. Please don't go with fear. It will not help you. Don't go with fear. I want us to pick a little thing from what Sunday said today. The diet you failed, go back to it. In fact, this evening, go back to that diet. Check the questions. Check the answers. Now try and remember how you answered it. And now put yourself in the shoes of the examiner. If you were the examiner and you wrote that kind of thing, will you pass yourself? Is the truth. Will you pass yourself? Knowing fully well that there are like 3 people that marks one person's paper. If you were the examiner, 3 that you were checking what the 2 other examiners have passed, and maybe those 2 examiners, they passed you. With that thing you wrote, will you pass yourself? So I think that's one very honest thing that you are supposed to do first off. When you fill a paper, try and go and check. What did they ask me to do? What was the person expecting? Because at the end of the day, I did a post recently, I think last week, putting yourself in the shoes of your reviewer. Because I think I did a job one time. I'd finished, but they told me to prepare the document. I had finished in my mind. I worked overnight. I didn't sleep. I worked overnight on that engagement, on that particular report. Submitted it to my senior, and she returned it with over 30 comments. And the feedback was, I did not get what they asked me to do. But I worked. In fact, I worked over the night. I didn't sleep. I worked. But my reviewer said I did not do anything. And it took me to now ask, okay, so what do you expect me to do? And she said, oh, this is what I wanted you to do. This is what I wanted you to do. And then I was not able to do it. So you have to always put yourself in the shoes of your examiner, the person that is marking the papers. It's not what you want to write, but what the person wants to see. It's not what you want to write, what the person wants to see. So if the person is not seeing what they want to see, no matter the effort you had put in, it's rubbish to them. Imagine your child, you are telling your child to read. Some people have children here. You're telling your child to read A, B, C, D, E, F, and the child is with power reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you say no, that's not what I asked you to do. The child will be like, but I'm reading something now, Abby. But that's not what you want to hear. That's how it is like. So I think one way to help yourself is go back and check what did the examiner say I should do? How did I do it? Did I do it according to what the examiner say? You must always put yourself in the shoes of the examiner. That's why you must always read the question. Read it and read it and read it till you understand it. Read it and read it and read it till you understand it. And also, the Holy Spirit is your best bet. Sorry, I'm a Christian. The Holy Spirit is your best bet. Sometimes I will just ask Holy Spirit, what did they say we should do in this place? What did they say we should do in this place? So please, even as you are reading, you are doing everything, please go with God. No matter your religion, go with God. Pray. Ask God to help you because God grants favor. Yes, something called favor. God can grant you favor in the sight of your examiner. Your examiner will just be seeing what he wants to see and be marking it and be going. Yes, something called favor. So please pray for God's favor. Pray for God's favor on top of your script as you are sending it, as you are submitting. Say, God, the place where I cannot stand and speak for myself. Because now let's assume that the examiner now is marking your script. I don't know if you've seen some examiners mark. They will not be asking questions like, so what does this person want me to understand here? And you are not there to defend yourself. You are no longer there to defend yourself. So now God will now have to speak to the person and say, oh, sorry, this is what my son Samuel was trying to say in this place, okay? So please kindly assist to mark right. And then the person will, go ahead and mark right. So please, as you are doing all of that, please, I beg, pray, take away fear. Fear cannot do anything for you. It will cripple you because sometimes you can even be reading and be tired and be like, I read the same way last night and I still failed it. So what's the point? So please take away fear. I beg. Please take away fear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You've said a lot. There's nothing to add. All right. So UK is actually she's the next person to speak. She's actually in a noisy place. So she sent a chat that she may not be able to ask her question. So I've asked her to put it in the chat box. While we wait for her, let's take Afolabi Felix, the last person on the call. We're already 3 o'clock. Time is already up. But then let's go with Afolabi. Please go ahead and mute your mic and speak. I think you raised your hand to ask. Or was it the one paper gang you were raising your hand up for, or you wanted to ask a question? Because I picked Afolabi's hand up.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I raised my hand during the one question gang.
Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't have a question to ask, right?
I think I appreciated the Madam Esther for her time, for her experience, and I pray we go along with our advice, and God will see us through. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. All right. Thank you very much. It's 3:01 on the dot, and we'll have to stop here. So thank you very much. If I'm not missing anybody, I think it's only UK, and she has not yet put it on the chat box, but maybe she will DM Madam Esther to do that because she's currently in a noisy place. So please confirm I'm not skipping anybody that has some questions. And as much as with her busy schedules, please reach out to her on DM. Don't try to call her. Just try to reach out on DM if you have one or two concerns to her. And she will respond when she can. She's a very busy person, I understand. So she will respond as much as she can. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think UK has put her question on. Okay, she has put it on the chat now. She said, please, can she advise me? This is my 4th attempt for AAA. And I just finished my MSc exam. So I just started reading last month, currently reviewing chapter 6. And if I'm done with each chapter, I'll check the question from that chapter and answer. I intend taking 2 weeks leave from work, and I'm yet to start. What would you advise? Okay, so UK is asking that this is her 4th attempt, and that's the only paper she has. She just finished her MSc exam, so she just started reading. What will you advise her to do in this condition? And she is going to take 2 weeks off work to start preparing rigorously. Yeah.
Okay, so I think she's the one that reached out to me. I think I had a call from someone yesterday. If you are granted 2 weeks, it's a good challenge. Try it. But like I advised my one paper gang people, please take out fear from it. You know, you might go into panic mode now because you have just 2 weeks to prepare for what other people have been doing in 3 months. And at this time, I'm not sure that you have the time to be going back to the park, to read in depthly. Maybe you want to rely a bit on a detailed summary note. Emphasis on a detailed summary note. If you can get a detailed summary note. And I know that Mr. Gabriel had put in some summaries, and also his lectures are also on YouTube. Yes, you have a detailed. If you have a detailed summary note, beautiful. Emphasis on detailed. That's to be detailed, because there was one summary note I saw, and I saw that this is not summarying at all, at all, at all, at all. If you have a very detailed summary note, yes, and please, you now have to. We are going to read day and night too. So it's a very, very taxing challenge. You can do it. Like I used to tell people that it is called ICAN. It's called ICAN for a reason. So you can do it, really. If you are willing to put in the work, that's 2 weeks of shutting out social gathering, 2 weeks of shutting out anything that has to do with social media. Just you, your audit pack, your audit textbook, your audit notebook, pen, paper, bait when you need to bait, eat when you need to eat, sleep a little. Honestly, that's like the way that you can pull this off. And please, past questions, will also help out a lot. And like a chat GPT will also help you out. But honestly, you can do it. If they will give you the 2 weeks and they will not disturb you, that's not like some other offices where you'll be on leave and they'll still be calling you to ask you some other question. If they will not disturb you, if you can shut out everything in that 2 weeks, you can do it. But just know that you have to stretch yourself to the very limit. To the very, very, very limit. If you watch those videos, if you have questions, maybe there's somebody that you can always ask questions and then the person will, answer you. People do intensive lectures and they pass. I know a friend of mine that she doesn't attend lectures. She waits for when they want to do intensive fire brigade. I don't do fire brigade, but some people do fire brigade and then they pass. But honestly, you can. You can do it.
I think her network glitched a bit. She froze a bit. Okay.
I'm back. Can you see
All
me?
right. Yes, we can see and hear you loudly and clearly.
I was getting a work call. So
no problem.
I'm sure that you can. I'm sure Mr. Gabriel will also be very willing to help you. And if you need any form of encouragement, my DM is open. I can, always push in some encouragement sometimes that you need it. But yes, you can do it. And I wish you all the very best. So I'll just give my last word because I have to run quickly to work now. I wish everyone very best. Prayer that everyone pass this diet and we don't have any situation or any means that will make us come back, to write it. It's my prayer that the Lord will help you. The Lord will give you clarity and understanding. The Lord will help you to understand the mind of the examiner so you can put down your point. The Lord will give you strength. He will take out every fear. The Bible says that He has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. I pray you will have a sound mind all through this period before your exam. I pray that everything that concerns you is blessed. I pray that you will receive all the support and all the help that you need to pass this exam. Please, as much as possible, rest when you can, even if it's for a little. Sometimes when you are trying to understand one question or you are trying to read one chapter and you are not understanding it because you've not slept, try and sleep 1 hour, 2 hours, then come back to it. Oh my dear, you understand it. Or sometimes some of you are reading on empty stomach. No, cannot work. You can't be reading on empty stomach. You can be seeing all this planning and be interpreting it as definition of what. So please eat well this period. Eat good food. If you need ideas, I can help you. I love good food. I eat good. Yes, compensate your body. Yes. This last person that asked the question, please compensate yourself with good food and sleep. Sometimes sleep at intervals, because sometimes when you're trying to understand, you can be seeing hunger. That is a bastard. You can be seeing something different when something different they're asking you. So please eat. Sometimes when you're trying to understand something and you're not getting it, sleep a little. Right? Sleep a little and come back to it with a fresh head, with a clear head. You see that you understand it better. If you are a night owl like me, please, of course, maximize the night. I maximize the night because nobody's trying to disturb me with calls or something. But if you are the day person, please maximize your day. Even if they will not give you leave from your office, as you are working, put your textbook. So that's what I did in GT. I used to put my textbook on my table as I'm pressing my laptop and checking people. My customer is dragging me here and there, and I'm in a meeting. Sometimes what your eyes catches, in that period, they stick. You don't know which one will be the place they will ask you the question for. And please go with faith. Pray very well. My prayers are with you, honestly. I really, really pray for everybody to pass. My prayers are with you. And I'm going to hear your testimony by God's grace. Hear everybody's testimony.
Amen.
Thank you for having me, everyone. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We can't say thank you enough. We really appreciate you. The time, the resources, pouring out yourself. Thank you so much. So won't take much time to close out. So ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this insightful and inspiring session to a close, I sincerely want to appreciate once again every participant for being part of today's conversation. Your patience, the engagement, the thoughtful questions have made this session truly impactful. A special note of appreciation to our discussant, Madam Esther Akintujoye, ACA, for sharing not just your experience, sharing her journey, one defined by hard work, resilience, and grace. Her story reminds us that success in the ICAN AAA-F paper, and indeed life, is not built on convenience, but on consistency, courage, and faith. So as we count down to the November 2025 ICAN exams, let today's discussion serve as a compass. And also remember, plan your study time intentionally. Approach every question with calm confidence. Apply principles and not panic. And most importantly, believe in your preparation. You've got everything it takes to excel with ease and speed, just as many of us who came before you did. So on behalf of myself and my professional colleague, Madam Esther Akintujoye, ACA, I thank you once again and for joining. Keep the fire burning, keep revising smartly, and go into the exam hall with one mindset to conquer. That is it. Thank you all, and I wish you clarity, composure, and success in your coming exams. See you guys, and bye for now.